Hey everyone, Mario here. Today I just wanted to update you guys on my personal progression associated with muscle building as usual. Um, as you can see, I've got the double chin, so still not in the leaning down phase. I am in a bulking phase, and it's not so much a lean bulk. I might have stated that I was gonna do my best to bulk up but lean, and it's just been a sort of impossibility given the fact that I have a lot of commitments to other things, my own business being one of them. And I wanted to share this with you to let you guys know that getting in shape isn't always a straight line. Things don't always go as planned. Many times they don't actually. I'd say most of the time they don't. So you need to adapt, and you need to be fluid, but you still need to remain consistent with your training, with your nutrition. You do what you can. If you do things at 50%, 50 to 60%, that's already incredible. Because if a lot of people, what they do is they try to get in shape, they start these fitness journeys, and then as soon as they hit one roadblock, they just quit and they go the complete other direction. They start splurging on foods that are really not good for them. They stop training. They might stop training. They might stop resistance training. They might stop doing any sort of activity. So any sort of cardio related or aerobic related um, exercise, even like things like walking, might be limited because of feeling stopped in your tracks and it being an annoyance to you or a huge frustration to you. But you have to just adapt. This is life. The older you get, the more you realize that if you don't continue moving forward, then you really are moving backwards. So and momentum is something that kind of catches up with you, and it could be very dangerous. So even in terms of your health and your mental state. So I think it's important for a person to just move forward as much as possible, and eventually you get there. Eventually you reach your goal. So this is somewhat where I'm at the moment. I'm it was kind of planned to be a lean bulk, but circumstances made it a little bit difficult for me. I focus also on my business. There's so many decisions to make. There's payments to be made. There's things to organize. I have two young children at home. It's been somewhat tough, but like I said, we just keep moving forward. So, getting back to my personal journey, I had intended, like I said, to do a lean bulk. It ultimately became a sort of just simple bulk. Okay, and I gained some muscle mass. I didn't gain that much muscle. To be honest, I haven't even weighed myself. I didn't even weigh myself at the beginning, so there's unfortunately no starting weight, no real stats. But I know, and you might see it through my videos. I did put on some weight, and unfortunately, when it's just a straight up bulk, the person doesn't display the muscle very well, right? Like the fat is covering the muscle, it almost makes them look smaller as they're actually getting bigger, even in terms of muscular development. Especially if they're, of course, putting on fat at a faster rate, putting on, or rather, putting on more fat than muscle throughout this process. So it might be tough to see, but I did bulk up in the shoulders, in the chest, in the thighs, and even the calves a little bit, and arms as well. But generally speaking, it was just a like I said, just a straight up kind of bulk, and it wasn't too significant. I'd say I gained about 15 pounds, huge maximum. I would say 20 pounds. But I'm still happy with it because this was the most important thing. I wanted to put on some size. I wanted to put on, as an absolute, let's say, value, I wanted to put on more muscle. So now I'm approaching the stage of leaning down, and that's going to be in about a month or so. I'm going to take the next month of to get a little bit bigger and hopefully gain another 10 pounds or so. and I'm gonna do put in a few extra efforts to bulk up that much in a short amount of time. So can it be done? Sure. A lot of it depends on me, of course. There are some external factors, but generally speaking, I should come fairly close to that 10 pounds of additional weight. So it's not just muscle; it's weight in general. So maybe 5 pounds, 6 pounds of muscle if I'm lucky. In any case, in about a month, I'll start leaning down, and that's when the cuts, of course, are going to start coming out. The muscle is going to start to show. My goal is to weigh over 200 pounds of muscle. So, of course, I'm not gonna have 2% body fat or anything like that, but I might be at let's say definitely under 10% body fat within the next couple of months. My goal is to achieve something around 7, which is approaching, let's say, competition shape. I mean, some guys enter competitions and win competitions at about 7% body fat. Many people exaggerate and say they have 3% body fat, and it almost looks that way, even at 7% body fat. So between 5 and 7. Definitely not less than 5, but most likely closer to 7. And I'm thinking it's going to actually be a bit more than that. I'm not entering a competition right now, but I want to get in crazy good shape. I need to get my confidence levels up a little bit, and I'm gonna do my best to do this in a very healthy way and a very, of course, it's done naturally, so no steroids, growth hormones, any of that stuff, and I've never done that stuff anyways, so nothing new there. But I want to do it in a way that's almost like sustainable. So I want to try to get lean, and even if my fat levels do go up, after that point, I will hope to keep a great shape year round for the next couple of years. I'm kind of sick of having the double chin and, let's say, being somewhat out of shape throughout the year, the last couple of years. So once again, I have 2 young kids at home. Anyone that with young children knows how tough it could be to find balance within your training and nutritional regimen, and it's just tough. I mean, trying to get some cardio in and regular resistance training workouts, regular cardio workouts, regular, and of course preparing your meals and still trying to enjoy some things with the family. It could be very challenging. So it's a little bit of a tough time, but my kids are getting older now, so the youngest is getting past that sort of terrible twos and threes phase. She's gonna be 4 soon, so that things change. When they start to go to school, they go to bed earlier, and it opens up your schedule more. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. As much as I love my kids and I love every moment I spend with them, and I appreciate every moment. Having had kids a little bit older than relative to most people, I think that was one of the advantages of that. I do appreciate things more than maybe someone in their early 20s would. So, as much as things are, fantastic in that regard, it's going to be nice to get, some pieces of myself back and get some time back in the near future. So, in any case, of course, like I said, there's so many factors, so many things that affect your fitness journey. It's important to just kind of work your way through them, around them, and just adapt to change all of the time. You always have to listen to your body, and that's pretty much the best way to do it. Just listen to your body. Don't get distracted by too many things, too many gurus, too much information. Keep things really, really simple, and things like weighing your food, constantly measuring your body fat levels, and I think those are things that are not very important and take a little bit of time. So if you can remove that, you're opening up your schedule more, making things a little bit easier for yourself. You're putting a little bit less pressure on yourself, which is a good thing for many people. And that's it. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm still bulking for the next month or so. I'm going to be leaning down for a couple of months, so before year's end I should be quite lean, And in the new year, I should be starting another bulking phase, and that's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be like the one that like where you, even through these videos with the shirt on, like you'll really notice the the boulder shoulders and bowling ball shoulders, and you'll start to really see a significant change. And I'm sure you'll be questioning, whether I am natural or not. I can assure you I am, but it's tough to prove these sort of things. Uh, in any case, anyone that's been following my channel, following me, following my website for, and through the transition of changing website names and all of that stuff, I mean, you'll know that everything I stood for when it came to fitness was like natural muscle building, natural fat burning, like everything is just natural. I mean, as even when you take supplements, it's like I recommend, whole food supplements, and not things that have been, filtered 1,000 times and been modified, let's say, from their original natural state. So natural supplements are very close to what you would almost consider to be food. So in any case, 100% natural, definitely no steroids, growth hormones, no fat burners. I might take a accelerator that helps, which is basically just things such as like cayenne and green tea, like mixes where it just assists the body to burn fat, but it's not really a fat burner. So in any case, aside from that, in a couple of weeks, I'll be starting the leaning down phase, and I'll be doing cardio 2 to 3 times per week, likely just two, and it'll be 20 to 30 minutes of pretty intense cardio. And it's also the nutrition that's going to be severely affected. I'm definitely gonna like change everything I'm doing compared to right now. So yeah, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see the results. When you're bulking up, when you're in your younger years, it feels good. Kind of almost feels like a superpower. You feel stronger, you're bigger, you have more of a presence. But when you're older, the amount of fat that gets tacked onto that muscle as you're building muscle is just insane. So and it doesn't feel very good, doesn't look very good. So and quite frankly, people don't really take too much notice. Even if you gain 20 or 30 pounds in a bulking phase, they don't notice too much of the muscle. They just see you gaining weight and might say, you look bigger, but it's not a very imposing, you don't look fantastic or anything, which is understandable. So now it's time to, in a couple of weeks, it'll be time to lean down. Like I said, I hope within the next month or so, I'll be able to um, gain a 5 pounds of muscle. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks for following me and my site, veb.org. And I hope to help you guys continually through these videos. Things are only going to get better. I do want to motivate you guys, which is why I'm making a point now to get in shape. I think, honestly speaking, genuinely speaking, it's more for you than for me. I don't, I want to make an impact, and I think it's important for people to have an example and not just somebody telling them what to do. Kind of like a has been. Never gonna be whatever. Like I think it's important to know that the person that's speaking to you right now, genuinely knows what they're doing and is practicing what they preach. But at the same time, by the same token, he's a human and he makes mistakes, and he is knows that it's important to adapt to unprecedented changes in your training and nutrition, in life in general. And that's it. Like I always say, this channel is for real people wanting incredible results. So it's not just real results, like average results. It's for average people, but it's for incredible results. And I think all of you have it in you. When I see somebody, I'm sorry, I'm just checking the time. When I see somebody getting in, trying to get in shape, and like I could look at almost anybody and I see the in shape version of them. You know, even if it's someone that never trained, is obese, is, you know, it really doesn't matter. Like I can visualize that, and I've seen some people, you know, in this process of just starting out, and they're discouraged, and I would almost, you know, be able to visualize almost immediately what they're going to look like when they're in shape. And, you know, 9 times out of 10 I'm right with how they turn out. I mean, as long as they do, of course, get in shape. You know, like I could just see their frame, and I see it, you know, and I see it much better than they see it. So, and of course, much of the reason is that I've done it for myself, but and I have been on both sides. I've been almost to the point of being what you would consider to be obese, and I've been also closer to a hard gainer, which originally I really was a hard gainer. So when people see me now, they kind of think I'm like an endomorph, you know, somebody that, you know, is naturally kind of like heavier and a little bit fat and, you know, stubby kind of, even though I'm quite tall. And yeah, so, you know, I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I know what it's like to have to lean down. I know what it's like to have to uh, bulk up and build muscle. So I'm hoping to get that sort of ectomorph shape now, um, or mesomorph shape. So somewhere in the middle, you know, between an ectomorph and an endomorph, is that ideal shape where a person just has a fast metabolism, yet they're not, you know, scrawny or anything like that, just muscular. So in any case, all the best to you guys. Keep it up, and you know, I'm on this journey with you guys, and I hope the quality of these videos is getting somewhat better. I did upgrade my little webcam here, and at the same time, I got a what's considered a studio grade microphone. I'm not sure if that's coming through because I'm really not a high tech person and haven't made any adjustments to settings or anything like that. But yeah, so eventually, you know, it'll get better and better, and even the quality of these videos will get better. So thanks for following me, and I look forward to hearing from you guys really, really soon. Ciao.